Always salt steak before you cook, or even better, use MSG.
I agree with that. Always put the steak on before. Actually, never in my entire career put MSG onto a steak. Ever. Chef Brian Tsao here, not your typical chef, and today I'm gonna be reacting to Uncle Roger review Gordon Ramsay steak. Before I go on with today's episode, I do want to give a shout out to my newest sous chef level patrons, Quentin Van Boeven, Prita, thank you so much for your support. You, along with all the patrons, really do help this channel, and for those of you who are watching, please consider becoming a patron by visiting the link in the description below. By becoming a patron, you get to take advantage of some awesome perks like suggesting the next video that I'm gonna react to. And lastly, if you can check out and follow my band on Instagram at Lost Becomes, you can listen to our music on all major streaming platforms like Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon Music. If you like big riffs, if you like angry music, or you need something good to work out to, this is gonna be your jam. With all that out of the way, let's react to some shit.
Gordon Ramsay make egg fried rice so good. Uncle Roger call him Uncle Gordon. But then he go and mess up ramen. Hiya.
I keep hearing about this video. I have yet to check it out. I do plan to do a whole series of reacting to ramen videos in specific. We'll get to that, but I'm excited to check that one out too.
I take that title away from him. This time, Gordon making steak and egg in the middle of some golf course. Let's see how he do.
All right, so it looks like this is gonna be some Texas-style steak and eggs.
Right, one in Texas for breakfast, brunch, or even lunch, or even dinner. Trust me, steak and eggs. But this is steak and eggs with a twist.
Last time he cooked in middle of nowhere when he in Indonesia. Now he cook in middle of nowhere when he in Texas. Hiya, Gordon. Next time you travel, remember to book hotel. This guy got 25 TV show, but every time he cook, he look homeless.
I'm using the most amazing bone-in ribeye. So when I say
Ribeye, good cut.
All right, a ribeye steak, one of the most famous cuts of beef, you know, also one of the more pricier cuts of meat, and for good reason. It is very flavorful, fatty, but also tender. And for those of you who don't know, a ribeye is located in the center-ish of the rib section. It has that big round eye in the center, which is why it's called a ribeye. It has the cap on top and then that nice round center piece of meat. It's very tender because this is located in a section of the cow that doesn't get exercised a lot. When you go more towards the front legs of the cow, that's the chuck. And that is a very tough cut of meat because, you know, it's the front legs. It's a set of muscles that's being used a lot. And then the more you go towards the tail and the center of the body, you have the ribeye steak. You go a little further, then it becomes like strip steak. And then under the rib section is where the tenderloin is where you get filet mignon. But if you cut that rib section with the tenderloin and the strip, then you get T-bone steaks. Closer to the ribeye are porterhouse steaks. All the really nice cuts tend to come from the center of the animal where the meat isn't exercised or worked as much.
Order. And we know the Texas Longhorns have to be the best cattle anywhere.
So Longhorns, a varietal of cow. Not every variety of cow gives you the same steaks. Some are better for producing milk, some are better for producing cream. Just because of of their natural traits, they will make a better cream, they'll make a better cheese. It gets very, very specific, and the same goes for cuts of meat.
See, you can see so much of the white fat running everywhere.
Spot on. So that's called marbling. Just to make a note, and this isn't like anything terrible, but they're outside, it's in Texas, it's probably pretty warm, and you can see this kind of shininess on the steak. That means the fat is rendering. You can see some marbling, but Uncle Roger had to highlight it with a graphic, whereas if this steak was cold from the fridge and never allowed to render, those white lines of marbling would have been much more defined. Again, nothing wrong with this. Gordon's gonna cook this momentarily, and again, they're in the outdoors, totally understandable. But again, that shiny sheen is because it's sitting out, the steak is warming up, and the fat is basically liquefying. It's no longer a solid, it's liquefying, and that's called rendering.
Fuyo, it's gonna be delicious. This one, technical term for this is called marbling. But Uncle Roger just called this steak with lot of fat. Life too short for technical bullshit.
I guess Uncle Roger's not gonna like my entire channel then.
Dry rub good?
So we lightly salt both sides.
Correct. Always salt steak before you cook, or even better, use MSG.
I agree with that, always put the steak on before, but I missed something in the rub that they said.
Start off with a dry rub, okay?
Dry rub good?
So we
dry
lightly
rub.
salt both sides.
Correct. Always salt steak before you cook, or even better, use MSG.
We get this beautiful rub.
Actually, never in my entire career put MSG onto a steak. Ever. Although I keep hearing about Guga Foods dry aging in MSG. He's also dry aged in like Sichuan peppercorn. I'm definitely going to react to more Guga Foods.
Coffee,
Coffee, okay.
Coffee.
paprika.
Ancho chili good, paprika good.
With now I've got a teaspoon of coffee.
Coffee not common ingredient, but actually nice touch because it gives the steak good bitterness. Remember niece and nephew, salt okay, never put pepper on steak before cooking. Because pepper burn too easily. You're gonna be eating steak with burnt pepper. Hiya, who want that?
Well, that's going to be any seasoning that you put on there on any high powered flame. It's going to burn, whether it's black pepper, coffee rub, paprika, or, you know, garlic powder, whatever. And that's just the name of the game with steaks. I mean, 9 out of 10 times when I'm cooking steak, I always put salt and fresh cracked black pepper. For me personally, I like kind of a coarser black pepper, and yeah, you put it over a flame, it is going to burn. It's just the degree of burn that you're going to get on there, which may not be too pleasant. So you do have to be mindful of it, but I don't agree with Uncle Roger there to not put black pepper on it. Any rub that you put on there is going to burn to an extent. It's just that you need to control that. Part of that rub gives you a crust, and it even when it's burnt, as long as it's not singed, you know, it will actually add a lot of flavor.
And we just literally push that down in. Take off the cooling wire for now.
Yeah, all that seasoning, if you put it over a fire flame, high-powered fire flame, it will burn. But again, you know, there's caramelization, there's, you know, burn, and then there's singeing. These are all different.
Correct. Treat dry rub like how Uncle Roger treat all my emotion. Push that down. Auntie Helen, who? This is how you get through life. You push it down and then get therapy later. If you can't afford therapy, just take it out on your children. It's so fun to be toxic.
Oh man, I mean, I am certainly guilty of that. My parents are really guilty of that. And then and it's funny, he should mention, you know, go see therapy later. I've actually made the decision recently to go back to therapy. Maybe I'll get into that topic a bit more later. But yeah, pushing down your feelings and suppressing them, not a good thing. Don't recommend it.
What I'm trying to do now is just flatten that beautiful.
Flatten good, make it cook more evenly.
How quick it's melting. Now, the secret there is I've got all that flavor pressed in.
Hiya.
Yes, flattening it will even it out. But if the steak was cut properly, you know, properly, when I say properly, meaning was cut straight, it'll already be even. So you don't necessarily need to flatten it out. If you flatten it out, it's gonna make the steak thinner and it will cook faster. Especially, you know, the steak is getting at room temp, outdoor temp. It's going to cook fairly quickly. It just depends what you want out of your end product. So if you want a thicker steak with heavy char on the outside and a really nice even cook from top to bottom, then you're gonna wanna sear that hard and then finish it in the oven to get a much more even cook. For a steak like that, that is the perfect steak to start and finish on the grill. It's thin enough, it won't singe by the time you cook the center to where you want it to be. So you don't necessarily have to flatten it out or push it down. I think Gordon's really just trying to get as much rub to stick onto the steak.
No need to touch so lovingly. This steak, not Sofia Vergara.
Now, in the pan, piping hot, into a skillet. Touch of olive oil.
Olive oil, okay.
And watch this, baby.
Notice he used olive oil, not extra virgin olive oil. Olive oil has a higher smoke point. It won't singe as easily or as quickly as extra virgin olive oil, which has a lower smoke point.
Look at that.
And he's using the cast iron skillet.
It's even the same shape as the Texas County.
Yeah, it looked like Texas. And if you zoom in super close, you can see all the abortion clinic closing down.
Shit.
But cast iron skillet, good.
In we go.
Nice sizzle.
I'm gonna get some onions in there as well.
Okay, so notice Gordon is getting the steak cooking and simultaneously working something else. He's being very efficient with his time, which is, very important when you're working. I mean, even at the home kitchen, but it's good to have those types of habits. So, what may take the average person an hour to cook dinner, if you work more efficiently, it could take you half an hour. So it's just being better about your timing. But for the professional kitchen, it's very crucial you work like that, because most of the time you're paying your cooks hourly, and the more they can get done in a shorter amount of time, the more money you make. And the better a cook can produce like that, the more valuable, more of an asset they become to your business.
Onion good? Uncle Roger always say, use shallot because onion for poor people. But this Texas breakfast, so okay to use onion.
Big, thick slices
Nice.
of onions and get them in there.
Ooh, nice.
Nice.
Garlic.
Garlic, good.
Garlic, literally down and just lightly.
Good smashing.
Don't turn that steak until you're ready, okay? Really important.
Yep.
Don't turn.
You don't want to mess with the steak. Let the pan do its thing. That's how you get a really nice sear, good Maillard reaction / caramelization, the browning, the crust. The more you move it around, the more you fidget with it, actually, it's going to impede your ability to get that crust, that sear, so on and so forth.
Correct. Don't turn your steak too early. You want it to form the burnt crust. That's the best part. But also, why his sunglasses so shiny? Gordon sunglasses brighter than Jamie Oliver future.
Let the fat render. And look, we've got a beautiful ancho chili, smoked paprika flavor coming out. Those onions are frying. Now I'm going to hit it with some butter.
Butter, okay.
Let's start caramelizing those onions.
Nice. Butter give onion and steak nice flavor.
Yep.
But notice how Gordon only put butter in middle of cooking, not beginning. Because butter burn easily also.
Yeah.
Good job, Gordon.
Yeah,
No
all
fuck
right.
up so far.
I do not expect Gordon to fuck up this dish in any way, shape, or form. But yes, Uncle Roger's spot on. It's the right technique that Gordon put it in basically halfway through versus at the beginning, because the butter by the end will burn.
That's so good. Chop my scallions. And I want a nice sort of
Spring onion, nice.
the eggs. That is beautiful, right?
One of Uncle Roger's favorite ingredient.
In she goes. Now, lightly season them. And now we're ready for the magic.
Good.
Turn that steak very, very
Okay, turning steak. Let's see how it looks.
top.
Fui, oh. Close up.
Not only did he did everything right, he used a high smoke point oil, he used a cast iron pan over high heat, he put a rub on it, he put the steak down, he didn't move it, he didn't fidget with it, so it allowed it to get the crust, and then he added the butter halfway through. That's also going to help to get more caramelization, that Maillard reaction, and it's rendering the fat from the steak, and the butter is going into the onions. This thing's going to be absolutely phenomenal. That is a picture perfect sear right there.
Nice. Look at how nice this steak look. The crust looks so good. Uncle Roger hungry now. Not bad, Gordon, not bad. Niece and nephew, this browning is called Maillard reaction. But don't be pretentious.
Hey, Uncle Roger getting real technical there, huh?
Steak crust, no need technical term. You making steak, not vaccine for COVID.
Eggs. In goes the oil. Always cracked on a beautiful flat surface.
Yep.
Correct? Crack on flat surface. Gordon, you should crack egg on your forehead because that's the biggest flat surface Uncle Roger ever seen. Emotional, damn it!
Beautiful.
Butter good, seasoning good.
And then look what I'm going to do. I've got the greens of the scallop.
I guess Gordon preheated the pan. Maybe he said it, I didn't hear it, but he used a non-stick pan, and he's using the residual heat from the pan to cook the eggs. Very nice touch. If you were to do this over the fire, you would get a lot of crusting on the edge of the eggs, which actually I like. It's having a very hard sear on sunny side up eggs is very common, especially in Southeast Asia, but I don't think that's what Gordon's trying to achieve. We'll see. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure the ideal Western style sunny side up eggs is that you don't have a hard crust on it.
It's going to be cooked with the eggs, okay?
He putting spring onion on the egg so it don't wilt.
Tips on the eggs, and then the base
Tips
goes
on
in to sweeten up those onions.
Very nice. Very nice touch. So he's putting the green segments of the scallion, which can get slimy very easily. He's putting that on top of the egg so it gets a more gentle heat. And then he's putting the roots into the pan and cooking with everything. I mean, it's Gordon Ramsay. Other than his grilled cheese, oh, that grilled cheese. Other than the grilled cheese, this is fantastic. Absolutely spot on. Not a single misstep yet.
And then literally before I take that steak out, got some cilantro.
Cilantro, little bit unusual, but maybe he making Tex-Mex style, so it okay.
Yeah,
That
I would agree.
gets
I would
chopped.
agree with that.
Really nice.
Good, good.
Some of my eggs, gently done, and the rest goes in over the steak. Now, look at those onions. Look what's happened to that steak. Look what's happened to that steak.
What happened to steak? The steak gonna get cooked, That usually what happen when you put shit in pan. It get cooked. There's no mystery there.
It is suited and booted.
I think Gordon was just filming, not filming, filling. Well, he is filming, but he's, filling the time between, so that there isn't so much dead air on the video.
That is so beautiful. Eggs go on to finish off.
Good, good.
Gently.
Egg look nice.
Just kissing it with a little heat at the end to finish off those eggs.
For you, sunny side up and the yolk runny. Uncle Roger favorite.
Think of the spice, the heat, the coffee, the chili.
What is that? Is that
Nice
lime?
Lime. Yeah,
Slice that.
Definitely going for a Tex-Mex, style.
Interesting. I think he really making
And
Tex-Mex.
then, look, hit that with the lime juice.
Good, he putting lime juice
A
at
little
end.
bit that will balance out the fat, the butter. You got the herbs, the herbaceousness, the freshness from the scallion, and the cilantro that notice he put on top of the steak, so it's not getting direct heat. Very nice.
This comes out. That goes on there. Oh my God. Those eggs are beautiful. Now, when we come to plate this, what you do now is you peel back.
Hiya, Gordon. Let the steak rest a few more minutes. Don't touch the steak that quickly after cooking.
Maybe Gordon let it rest, the way the video is edited, because you can see they didn't show the part where he removed the onion, all those onions he placed on top. That was a weird little step. I would have just left the onions in the pan, or maybe not even put it on top of the steak. Nothing major, but yeah, I think he definitely let the steak rest. He just didn't show it on camera and identify that he did that.
And I'm gonna just take this beautiful eye off. But look at that. And that is pink. That's Peppa Pig himself.
What? Hey, Gordon. No spoiler for Peppa Pig, okay? Uncle Roger only on season 2. But the steak, perfect medium rare
Yeah,
for you.
beautiful.
Uncle Roger give you that.
And then beautifully just come down. Don't go too mad. You never slice a ribeye thin, ever.
Rib eye can be thick, correct? Beef or fur need to be very thin. But Western rib eye like this can be as thick as Lizzo.
You lay that over.
Beautiful.
There.
Looking nice
Open, open, open.
for you.
A light season. Just hit it with a touch of
My mouth
salt
is
in there.
watering. Look,
Use
salt.
MSG, Gordon.
And all you do now,
Pepper good.
delicious eggs. You get a spoon.
Egg nice, looking nice.
Slide those eggs.
No, metal spoon or
metal spoon,
non-stick pan.
It's okay. Don't dig into the pan, but if you gently go on and you're careful, it's fine. For home, it's fine. If you do this day in, day out on a restaurant pan where you're making hundreds of eggs, then yeah, a metal spoon will fuck up the pan. Home use, what Gordon's doing here for filming, there's just this huge like, oh my God, you used a metal utensil on a Teflon pan or a non-stick pan. It will be fine if you are gentle with it. Stop freaking out.
And what you doing?
Oh. Oh,
No.
beautiful.
Oh,
The second one.
you hear that sound? You hear that sound? Oh, that sound breaking Asian people heart everywhere. That sound caused so much fear in Uncle Roger's heart. Because if my mom hears that, she gonna come beat me up. Why are you using metal spoon in non-stick pan? You working with this Hex-Clad brand? Remember, you give Uncle Roger 3 of this Hex-Clad pan. This the type of stuff where metal can go in, but not that type of pan. Gordon, this your company. What happened to your pan? Should I send it back to you? Tell me. Just give me your address. Uncle Roger mail one of your pan back to you, okay?
Chill out, Uncle Roger. He's very much being an Asian boomer right now. It'll be okay. It'll be okay, bud.
You're doing so well.
There you have it. A stunning, beautiful
It is stunning.
ribeye, fried eggs, Texan style.
Food looks so good. It's delicious. Uncle Roger can smell it from here. But metal spoon or non-stick pan, you're just scraping the pan. No uncle title for you.
What? Come on, get the fuck out of here, Uncle Roger. Dude, chill out, man. Listen, yes, is it frowned upon? Absolutely. But, you know, non-stick pan technology has come very far. It's much more durable. You know, before, if you took one of those green scrubby pads on it, it would totally fuck it up. But again, if you're gentle with it, it'll be fine. Anyway, that's my personal opinion. I'm pretty sure everyone's gonna like the shit out of my comment on that in the comment section. But whatever, I can take it. I can take it. Hey man, I'm gonna give this a 9 out of 10. You know, as far as technique, I'm not as concerned or upset as Uncle Roger about the metal spoon on a non-stick pan. So 9 out of 10 for me. Gordon Ramsay, when it comes to Western food, you cannot touch that dude. And, you know, even Eastern food. The guy definitely is more traveled than I am. That's for damn sure. Very cool video. I love Gordon Ramsay. As usual, thank you, Uncle Roger, for making these videos. Make sure you visit the originals. Leave them a comment, a thumbs up. Do the same for me, please. You know, hit that subscribe button. The thumbs up really helps me out. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. And with that said, I am Chef Brian Tsao, not your typical chef, and I'll see you really soon.